go, George. We're live.
Evening, everybody. Happy Friday. Hope we're all doing well. We are back on the Arsenal Women Chat Show with another show. We're going to look forward to the action on Sunday against West Ham, and we'll talk about a couple other bits as well. Let me just introduce you to my guests. Darren, how are you doing, mate?
Good evening, everybody. Good evening, George. I'm very well, thank you. Happy to be back at Meadow Park on Sunday. Can't wait.
Yeah. Darren's come out of hiding where we're not talking about international football. So we've got Darren back.
I don't know too much. I don't know enough about the young players, whereas Paul is the expert. I know absolutely jack shit about the Scottish game, so I thought I'd sit that one out, mate.
And you just turned into like a keyboard troll.
It was fun.
Yeah, it was. No, it was a good show. Dan, great to have you here. Hope you're feeling okay.
Yeah, all good, mate. All good. It's good to be back. Thank you.
Cool. Paul, how you doing, mate? I've seen you've been here, there, and everywhere this week, haven't you?
Yeah, managed to get to both the England under-23s games during this break. But can't wait to be back on Sunday, back home at Meadow Park.
Where was the other England game? Was that Stevenage, wasn't it?
Yeah, Stevenage against France. France were the better side overall, I think, but we took our one chance in the first half, got the goal, and then defended well.
Yeah, no, nice one. Always like beating the French, so it's good. And Mel, how you doing, mate?
I'm all good, thank you. What I'm really impressed about is that as you started the introduction, somebody turned up at my door, and I managed to run downstairs, answer the door, and come back. So my knee is healed. I'm going to use that as my evidence for my coach to let me play on Sunday. But yeah, no, I'm good.
If he needs proof, to say I got footage.
Exactly.
Yeah.
To be fair, I run my wee heart out of training on Wednesday and Thursday for 3 hours, so I'm hopeful that even if I get 15 minutes on Sunday, I'll be delighted.
Exactly. If Kim Little can play with one hand, I'm sure you can play with one knee. It's fine. Thanks to everyone watching so far. We'll get straight into it. Start with you, Dan. Obviously, we're after the international break now. I think a few of the Arsenal players got some really good minutes. Going into the West Ham game, I think we'll probably be expecting a similar team to when we beat Spurs. My only one is, do you think Chloe Kelly could get a start?
Yeah, I don't see why not. I mean, I suppose it depends what Caitlin comes back from Australia, what sort of time she's come back and how tired she is. But yeah, I think why not give Chloe a start? She should be buzzing. Not that she played a lot of minutes for England in the last week, but she, she must be pleased coming out of the England camp. Leah had a good couple of games for England as well. Alessia, so yeah, I think all the England girls should be full of confidence. But yeah, why not give Chloe a go? Probably ideal game to give her 90 minutes against West Ham.
Yeah, I think it could be a perfect opportunity for her to get a good few minutes, couldn't it, with Chloe Kelly? Because obviously Beth's been out with injury. Obviously Caitlin's going to be travelling back from Australia. What do you think about that? I think it's a perfect opportunity.
Yeah, I mean, we all know she hasn't had very many minutes in the first half of the season at City, and then coming over to us, she couldn't play those first couple of games either. So we played her for those was about half an hour or so against Spurs the other week. She got a few minutes for England. So yeah, building it up, I think this is the ideal game to give her the start that she needs. And like we've just said, there's the potential injury with Beth. There's Caitlin coming back all that way from Australia as well. And West Ham, they're not title contenders, shall we say. So, yeah, ideal time to whack her on that wing. Get a few goals for us. 4 or 5 in the first half from her. Why not?
Yeah, I should have brought her in on fantasy football.
Yeah.
Yeah. Darren, I'll come to you. Obviously, like similar to what Paul has said, we don't know how people like Caitlin are going to come back. Obviously, we're not saying that West Ham's going to be a walkover because they're never really easy, especially when we played them in recent times. But we ain't going to know whether Chloe Kelly's up to the levels we need unless we see her playing regular time, are we?
I think everybody's spot on. I reckon Chloe will get a start with Beth Mead potentially still injured. I don't actually know if she's still injured or not. The three Aussie girls coming a long way, and I think most of them played pretty much the majority of all those games that they had. I think Dorian's the expert on those sort of stats. Maybe he will step in and let us know. But I don't see them guys potentially starting. And why would you want to start them with all that jet lag against West Ham? Vicky's back. Don't think she'll start. She'll probably come on, gets a few minutes. So we're probably gonna have Vorty and Kim in the middle, which I don't particularly like, as you know from the last show. I think Leah Cadena will start at the back with Leah maybe because Lotta's out, of course. And Steph, is she ready to come back into a full 90 minutes straight after getting back from Australia? I don't really know. So I think there'll be generally the same sort of shape and personnel on the field with one or two absentees due to the international break. And there's no update on Rosa Kafaji. I don't know whether she's injured, she's out, or what still. She certainly didn't feature for Sweden, did she, midweek?
No, she weren't in the squad.
She's not?
No, she weren't in the Sweden squad because she got left out, as far as I know. So I don't know. She might be. I'm assuming she'll be back because Renee said that the only injury really was Lotta. So.
Oh, so Beth's not injured. I didn't see the. Unfortunately,
no.
The press conference day, so I didn't see what happened. So they're saying that Rose was not in training, according to Dorian. So we'll see what happens. But do you know what? Goodness me, we'd be able to put any 11 players out and beat West Ham, and if we don't, shame on us.
Famous last words from Darren. Thank you.
Steam up front. Don't worry, we'll be fine, George.
Mate, I thought you said we wanted to win. She couldn't even beat Wales. Just getting that in. Mel, obviously, like what Darren said, obviously we know Lotta's out injured. With the Aussie girls we don't know what condition they're going to be when they come back. Do you think it would just make sense to start players like Cadena and maybe Kim?
Yeah, I would say it makes sense. Also gives those players a bit of a chance to sort of recuperate after A, having those games in the international break, and then B, the travelling as well. But then the issue is with that is, will we see the same with Emily Fox? Obviously, she's been out in America playing in, was it the She Believes Cup? Pretty sure she played every minute of every game that they played. And then has that trek home. So I'd put money on the fact that Emily Fox still plays. She'll probably still be starting. But Laura said in here as well about Steph. Apparently, she's been ill. So it'd be a good sort of opportunity to sort of switch it up a wee bit. I wouldn't switch it up too much. The last thing you would do is completely overhaul your squad and then go out and get pumped by West Ham at home. So yeah, I'd probably make a few changes. We bench the second game. Emma Hayes doesn't hate us as much as we thought. So yeah, Emily Fox will probably still play. If Steph's been ill, she probably won't play. I'd rest Caitlin. But then do you rest Caitlin if you don't have Beth? I don't know. You need to sort of know the ins and outs of who's actually available for Sunday before I can start making educated guesses on who's going to play.
Do you think, I'll go to you, Paul, do you think Jenna might get a start? Because I think she needs to be getting some decent game time as well, doesn't she?
Yeah, all depends where Renee sees her fitting into that team and what position she'll be playing in, because obviously we know she was playing at left back out in America, but then we've got Katie at left back, but then Jenna used to be on the left wing as well. So yeah, she's another option to use. again, it just depends how many changes Renee thinks she's going to make. If she's already got the likes of Chloe Kelly starting, the potential for a change at the back with Caitlin not being there, possibly resting Kyra as well with the jet lag. With Jenna, it could just be one change too many to the side that we already know sort of gels well and works well. And of course, with Emily Fox as well, I could see her starting, but then Katie Reid seems to be coming on quite regularly now for her, and that sort of second choice at right back. So there's the option there to give Emily an hour or so and then bring Katie on for the last half an hour as well.
Yeah, give her 65 minutes.
Yeah, as long as she gets over 60.
Yeah, that's fine. It's the fantasy points to say. Dan, I think it's quite important, like what Paul said, not to make too many changes. So I think would you say that obviously most of it will answer itself, wouldn't it? But like Kadena, I think would probably slot in, wouldn't she, for Steph?
Yeah, Kadena makes sense. She's probably deserves a start. To be fair, I don't think when she got dropped out of the team at the start of the season, she was playing that badly. But yeah, if Chloe starts, I mean, probably the thing is, make one or two changes, hopefully get a few goals ahead, and then you can make your substitutions. Then, really, isn't it? That's get the game won first and foremost, and then we can think about resting players. It's so take Emily off after 60 minutes and it's 0-0, or we're just winning 1-0. We've got to make sure we've got the game won. I think we've been in bad habits like that in the last few seasons. So it's I know we keep saying it's West Ham, but they have, of course, just one or two problems the last couple of seasons. So let's do what we need to. And then even if we've got time, we can bring Stina on as well.
Yeah. Have we got any comments, Mel, on that point?
We have a couple, and Biased is here again to grace us with their presence. You love to see it. Biased saying easy 2-0 against West Ham. We should do the business. They've also said, guys, I'm calm. I trust the process. We're in a good place. And then hashtag we got super Rennie Sligers. Correct. Apart from that, just general chatter about injuries, etc., which we've already touched on.
Yeah. I'll go to you, Darren.
Dorian has also said that he's loving Darren's video. It looks like he's in witness protection. His face is in complete darkness.
Is it?
He's part of the SFC now. Got to be in witness protection.
Yeah.
His controversial opinions are so controversial that we've had to hide his face, and we're going to have to change his voice so people can't find him.
No, you're confusing me with Jack.
No, his name's not Darren anymore. It's Derek.
Oh, my word.
Yeah.
But anyway, Derek.
Yeah.
So we'll talk about. I want to talk about Frida. I know, like before, we've had a lot of conversations about Frida before international break. I think she had a decent one again as well. Does she play in that 10 role for you on Sunday, or do you think that's Mariona? What's your views on that?
It's no secrets that I'm not Frida's biggest fan. I think she's a good player, but I think she's overhyped by some of our friends and colleagues. I'd much rather see Mariona in there. I went to Wembley on Wednesday, met up with Scott, bumped into him, and I was so impressed with the partnership of Bonmati and Mariona in that midfield. They played with somebody else whose name escapes memory. They were just so good. Everything was going through Bonmati. Mariona was always veering off into the wings to get the ball from her. They've got such a wonderful partnership, them two. If we had enough money, would we like to see Bonmati in the WSL at Arsenal, not Chelsea, of course? Absolutely, we would. She is class. I want to see Mariona in the number 10 for us on Sunday.
Yeah, fair point. No, I do agree with Bonmati. I think we don't want to go in Chelsea because they buy everyone, but I think
she just makes the game look so simple. She was just so confident on the ball. She made one or two mistakes, of course. We're only human, aren't we, at the end of the day? But I was just uber impressed with the combination of that Spanish midfield. England had to work incredibly hard to win that game, and they deserved to win it at the end of the day. It was one of the best football games I've seen for a long, long time. Two really good teams going toe to toe. It was a pleasure to be there and watch it.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, go on, Dan.
I was just about to say sorry. I veered off a little bit there, but
No, that's fine. I'm glad you worked out that there was people at Wembley in the end.
Oh yeah.
Well, it was just the way I come across is anyone at Wembley, and I was like, yeah, loads of people, mate. Like,
Surprisingly, it wasn't a sellout.
was it not?
Okay. No, man. I don't know what the attendance was because I left about 5 minutes before the end.
So I don't one of them.
Well, Wembley Walk, mate. Wembley Way is a nightmare, isn't it? But
see, that's the reason why they couldn't have paid the Lecky bill because it didn't sell it out.
Well, this is it. The upper tier was 99% empty. I mean, a bit of a boo-boo there. If that had been Friday night at Wembley, England, Spain, it would have been a sellout. Midweek, same as West Ham, same as Arsenal. It's a bit of a hit and miss whether we sell out or not, isn't it?
I still find that a bit disappointing, even though it's a Wednesday or whenever it was. That England against Spain, you'd expect it. I'm not saying to be completely sold out, but near enough, wouldn't you?
Yeah, you would.
I think you had to think though. You know, if they'd have done the games the other way round, because having it on a Wednesday, it wasn't half term. If you had it on a Friday when it was half term and all the families are off, then I think definitely you'd have had a sellout. So they should have played the games the other way round. Played the Portugal game on a Wednesday.
Well, that's it. Instead, they went to Portugal and played it in front of about 2,000 people. Ridiculous.
Now, come on, Dan. That's too much common sense. We know we don't have that with people in charge of football.
And everyone had been screaming for Lauren James. So that would have been a bit annoying anyway. So
yeah.
Oh, she was brilliant. I shocked myself with the comment I made in the group. LJ was very, very good. I have to say, very good. I hate saying it, but she was good.
Is this the Chelsea podcast? Have I joined the wrong one now?
She's Leslie Russo,
because we can also, in the same vein, as Dorian quite rightly said just now, Kira Walsh was shit.
So isn't it?
It's the Chelsea effect.
Yeah, she didn't play well at all, I tell you. Millie Brighton.
Don't think she's.
Kira Walsh hasn't played well for England for a long time.
Yeah, that's what I was just going to say.
People have found her out. They just get on her quicker now when she's playing for England. They just crowd her out. I think she's just struggled. She hasn't got the close control to create space like her Spanish counterparts.
Getting my Arsenal glasses back on, Russo was electric up front. So good.
Yeah, just like to talk about Russo, Dan. Do you think? Obviously, I know we've seen her like at the end of Jonas's reign. She was scoring a few goals, and then she started. But do you think we're seeing that like Leslie Russo properly fitting into that number 9 role, or like how Shaw does for Man City? Do you think she's becoming our Shaw at Arsenal?
I think she feels like she owns that number 9 shirt now. 100%. I think she had a lot. I remember sort of saying before when she was at United, she used to play, I don't know, 60, 70 minutes, and they always used to take her off. Even when she was playing for England, like in the Euros, she was sort of coming on as an impact sub. And I think it's taken her, maybe that couple of years, a little bit of time just to turn into a 90-minute player to start with. And then once you're that 90-minute player, then it's doing them performances, giving them 7, 8 out of 10 performances every week. And I think that's where she's going now. Plus, obviously, she's adding a goal. She's being creative. She's lovely bit of magic on Wednesday. Just creating something out. And I think that, leads to the goal. So a goal on Friday as well against Portugal. I thought, she was absolutely excellent. And I was quite pleased that she did go off after about 70 minutes because she did look pretty knackered towards the end. And I thought she's got obviously save a couple of goals ready for West Ham.
Yeah, no, I agree. Paul, I'll come to you. I know there's been a comment about Rosa Kafaji by Unbiased. I know we've spoke about her plenty of times on here. She hasn't played as much as we probably would have thought. But do you think, what's kind of a 2-part question? 1, do you think she'll get that run of games? And 2, could you see the club basically of buying her maybe 12 or 18 months early just to steal that march on other teams?
Yeah, we do have a habit of buying players in a year or 2 years before we necessarily need them in our squad, and B, before they're actually ready to be 90 minutes at the Arsenal. And yes, it stops Chelsea getting them. Yes, it gives them sort of a year or so of experience in our training regime and getting to know the players. But on the downside, do the players themselves think, why am I just sat here on the bench, not getting game time? And then they're with us for a little while. They end up going out on loan somewhere, coming back, still not getting game time, and we end up losing them. And is that going to be the same for someone like Rosa? Are we going to send her out on loan at the beginning of next season if we haven't got a space for her? She's possibly too good for that. Is she going to get into our first team at the beginning of next season? Very doubtful, in my opinion. So it's going to be a little bit of a tricky one for someone like her at our team. Is she willing to wait another year or so to get regular game time or not? It's the big question.
Yeah. Mel, kind of the same sort of question for you regarding Rosa. Do you think maybe she may just need to be patient, or do you think it's a similar situation to Gio? I know Gio was a lot younger, but with the youngsters coming in, do you think that Rosa's going to get more opportunities?
I think the best sort of situation to compare it to is Kyra, obviously. I mean, if we look at how long it's taken Kyra to sort of get in amongst the starting lineup and to get consistent minutes, it's taken her quite a while. Like Dorian said in the comments here, obviously she's in a bit of a different situation where she's got some Australian teammates that are with her. She's got sort of Steph, who from any social media post that anybody's seen can see that Kyra annoys her like Steph's her mum. So it could just be that it might take Rosa that wee bit longer. Obviously without that same sort of support system. She's obviously got Swedish teammates there with her, but it could be anything. I'd love to see her get minutes. I'd love to see her get consistent minutes. I think from the bits and pieces that I've seen of her, she's the makings of a very, very good player. You can tell that she grew up idolising Ronaldinho. I think the way that she moves with the ball and things that she does with the ball at her feet are incredible. There's not a lot of players in leagues at the minute that are doing what she's doing with the ball. It could just be like a immaturity and inexperience type thing at the minute that's keeping her out of the squad. Then you've also got to look at A, how many players we have in that position, and B, the fact that we've got Palova coming back as well. It just means that she's just going to have to fight that a wee bit harder to sort of really cement herself as somebody that deserves to be in the squad at the weekend.
What do you see her as Rosa as a winger or number 10?
I think it depends on who you're playing.
Okay. Yeah. Because I think she's probably one of those players that could probably play both, isn't she, as well? So
yeah.
So that kind of gives you a bit more option. Darren, I'll come to you. Obviously, I think we've been hearing that Vicky Palova is in contention to feature on the weekend. So I think that's amazing news, isn't it? Like that she's going to be back in the squad. Obviously, she isn't going to start, but just to have her back on the pitch for us, I think that's brilliant, isn't it?
It really is encouraging, isn't it? It's lovely to see Vicky back again. She's not going to start clearly, is she, guys? You know, they're going to... I don't think she's going to start any games potentially until probably the latter end of the season. Better in nice and easily. You don't want to be coming back and pounding out a full 90 minutes after such an atrocious injury. But it's nice to see her back, and it will be a good feel factor on Sunday to see her on the pitch warming up with the rest of the girls. So It'd be nice. I just hope that she comes back as the player, if not better, than she was before the injury, because it's been well documented on this show and other social media platforms, the likes of Leah and of course Beth, being incredibly good players, suffering an ACL and coming back and not necessarily being the player they were before. So I hope Vicky's not in the same category as those two. She needs to come back, hit the ground running, and be the ball winner that she was before she got her injury. She's an exceptional player, isn't she? She really is. I rate her very highly.
That's why I weren't too bothered. Like, if you get a fit, firing Vicky Pelova, I know they're playing similar at different positions, but that's why I wasn't too bothered about Keira Walsh, because I think Pelova has a ceiling that as soon as that ceiling breaks, she has no limit to the levels she can get to.
Yeah.
Obviously, it depends how she comes back from the ACL. Did she come back quite quick from that?
I don't know what the time frame was, I'm afraid.
I'm trying to remember when she did it.
It's usually about 9 months.
Yeah, it was around June time, wasn't it? It was June, July, because it was done in training.
Yeah, so maybe around the right time then. Dan, obviously with Pelova being back, like what Darren said, she isn't gonna probably start many games, probably apart from when she starts and wins us the Champions League final against Man City. But yeah, I think it's important just give her like a few minutes here, a few minutes there, isn't it? Just get her back in around the squad.
Yeah, definitely. It's just making her feel part of the team again, and just getting her fitness. I mean, we realistically, we're not going to see her back to the sort of levels probably till next season now, are we? But it's just if we can just get her fitness back up, get her feeling part of the team. I think we've all said it. The sky is the limit for her. So she was playing exceptional before she got injured. She's one of those players that we've got, one of our younger players that definitely has world-class potential. And yeah, we just want to see her ease her back in gentle. We know she's going to probably come back in. She might get a few little knocks and a couple of other little injuries, but yeah, just get that fitness back up. And like you say, if she gets a winner in the Champions League final, then all good.
Yeah. Paul, what's your opinion on Pelova?
Yeah, I mean, she's probably one of the standout players for us last season in that role. And yeah, if she can come back gradually over the next few games this season, sort of ease her back in gently. The squad were obviously there supporting her when she was playing for the under-23s a couple of weeks ago and got that goal. So the whole team are sort of behind her and supporting her. And then, yes, I can see her winning us the Champions League. It'll be 2-1. Vicky P will get the first one, then Stina off the bench to score the winner. And she'll be like a new player for us next season and come into that role and just make us even stronger.
You just want me to get that Stina tattoo, Paul, don't you?
Yeah.
Mel, do you have any comments?
Yeah, so the first one that I've got that I've actually pinned on the screen here is Mbias has asked us to rank these three players: Frida Manum, Rosa Kafaji, and Victoria Pelova.
Easy. I'll let you guys go first. Darren?
Pelova, Frida, Rosa. And the only reason I say that, the only caveat is because we've not seen enough of Rosa to put her above Frida just yet.
Yeah, that's cool. Mel?
I'm going Pelova, Kafaji, Manum. I think this season, especially, Frida's been very, very hit or miss, and I think Rosa deserves her chance.
Paul?
I'm exactly the same as Darren. I think a fully fit Victoria Pelova is one of the best players that we've got, and the same for me. We haven't seen enough of Rosa in the Arsenal shirt to be able to give a great opinion on her, but agree with Mel as well that Frida hasn't been fantastic for us this season. But yeah, so yeah, Vicky, Frida, and then Rosa for me.
Dan.
Yeah, same again for me. Vicky, Frida, Rosa, but I do think maybe in the summer that we might see a party of the ways maybe with Frida, possibly. If hopefully Rosa can have a good end to the season. Vicky does get some minutes. I think maybe it could be the time that she potentially moves on.
Yeah. So for me, if you're talking about now, it like a fully fit player now, which is hard when because Palova's injured and we don't know if she's going to bounce back. I would still say Palova, Frida, then Rosa because we've not really seen Rosa. But if we're talking about when they're playing, they're all fit, they're playing week in, week out, you're seeing the best of them, then I think Rosa takes it from Frida. But that's only because I think we've seen little bits of in the limelight when Rosa's had that chance that she has sometimes. I think like against West Ham, I think she proved that she could play at that level and at that high level. But it's a hard one because obviously we've not seen Rosa play that much. Mel, was there any other comments, please?
Most of them are just sort of touching on what we've said already about Kyra struggling with settling in. Laura said that seems like a few of them can't settle quickly. Kadina said the same. Yeah. And Laura's also saying to give Vicky P the last 15 minutes of the game and give her the feel of it again.
Yeah, no, I agree. I'm going to go around and get your predictions and we'll go with the first goal scorer as well. So I'll start with you, Dan.
I'm going to go for 3-0 and that's just be boring and go for Russo.
Cool. Darren?
5-0. 5-0 because it is just West Ham. And we're playing them under Super Rene now, not frigging Jonas, so they won't cause us any problems. 5-0 and Mariona, first goal scorer.
Cool. Paul?
I'm going to go for 4-0 and Chloe Kelly for the first goal scorer.
Now we're talking. Mel?
I'm going to go 2-0 because off the back international break, we might not see everybody at 110%. And I'm going to say... Fuck, what did I say last time? Sorry, first
Don't ask me. I don't even know what I said last time.
Own goal, George.
Own goal, yeah.
See, I want to say Russo, but I want to go a bit wild. I'm looking at some of these predictions that we've had, and they've been dog shit. They've been so bad. I'm gonna go Kim. Fuck it, why not?
If I did say an own goal last time, actually, I might have got something because it was an own goal, wasn't it?
True, actually, yeah.
But to be fair, on the men's podcast I done yesterday, I did say that Arsenal were going to win 1-0 against PSV with an own goal because we can't score. So, cool. Mel, I'm going to go 3-0. And I'm going to go for Katie McCabe. Just because I liked it when she swore in her video. I thought that was brilliant.
It reminded me of when Kim swore years ago when she was speaking about... Who was she speaking about? Big M's Mitch. That's who it was.
It just made me laugh. Just made me laugh the way she was talking that on the interview, and then she went, "Oh, sorry." Yeah. Drop your predictions in the chat as well, and your goal scorer. We'll obviously going back to you, Darren. Yeah. We see that Renee got manager of the month, didn't she? And Mariona got player of the month. So that's good for them too, isn't it? Like the momentum carries on going under Renee, even though we've had a couple of disappointing results. They seem to bounce back, don't they?
Yep, and richly deserved for the pair of them. Absolutely. Shame we couldn't do a clean sweep with Emily Fox's goal. I can't remember who did win it. I can't remember. Some Leicester girl, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Can't remember her name, but it was a good goal nonetheless. What she scored too. Laura's just saying Fox was robbed of the goal of the season.
Season's not even done yet, though. Cool it.
Me too. I was just about to say exactly the same thing. But Fox's goal was good, but that Leicester girl, I wish I could remember her name. That was quite an exceptional goal too. Very pleased for Renee. I really much enjoyed the video that Laura posted with the staff in the background singing "We've Got Super Renee." It shows you a bit of a love in the camp, doesn't it? They're all good friends. It's cliche. It's like a big family. But I'm happy for her. Very, very happy for her. And may it continue for a long time yet.
Yeah. Cool. That was a scary thought. I just read I think Laura said, Mel, can you release the predictions? I don't know if I want to know that.
We've not had many people get both. I'll be honest, we don't have a lot of 3-pointers for correct score and first goal scorer. We can do a quick fact check. I think there's only a couple.
So are you going to release some kind of like league table at the end of the season for how people respect to like 3 points if you get everything right, 2 points if you get the correct score or whatever, sort of thing?
It's 1 point for correct score or correct goal scorer, 3 points for both. Almost like 3 pints. Oh, I could fucking murder 3 pints. Sorry.
Well, I'd be interested to see the league table.
Yeah, we'll see what happens at the end. Depends who wins it.
Well, George, you'll be quite low down because you've not been able to copy Dorian.
I don't need to copy Dorian, mate. He copies me, and that's fantasy football. So that's fine.
We've had a grand total of 2 3-pointers all season, and the last one was Laura in the Spurs game.
There you go. See?
Wow.
The Scottish psychic. Not
scared.
psycho.
Does that mean we're not very good at predicting anything at all then?
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah.
We don't know anything then. We can't.
We've got a couple like correct scores or correct goal scorers, but we're not 100%. And if we were all 100%, it would be fucking boring. So
yeah, exactly.
What's life without a little bit of wrongings here and then?
Well, if we predicted right now, final game of the season, we get the one goal that makes us get second place against Man United. Stina gets goal of the season.
Jesus Christ, Paul.
Oh, I'm loving you more and more each time I see you.
Paul, what's happened? Paul, what's happened to you, mate? What's happened? You never used to be like this.
Well, it's the international break for you. Changes people.
It does crazy things to people.
Yeah, don't worry. We'll be back to normal on Sunday.
Yeah, I hope so. Otherwise, you'll have to go and stand in the West Stand.
They're going to be selling the Kim England scarves.
Say again, Dan?
I said they're going to be selling the Kim even.
England
scarves.
Yeah, I see that.
Don't get me fucking started. There's not enough weapons and aggression and anger in the world that I can use on the person that created that abomination.
I mean, who
Little's face on an England scarf. She went to the Olympics and didn't even sing "God Save the Queen," and you're going to put her face on an England scarf? Don't talk.
I think Lewis said he was going to get you one.
Well, that's Steve. Lewis did message me and ask for my address to send me something. So if that's what turns up in the mail, Lewis, I'm setting it on fire and I'm never speaking to you again.
Yeah, we did say that you'd probably put him in hospital.
Correct.
All right, we've lost track. Who's prediction? Dan?
I've done the first one for you now.
Oh, did you? Right, sorry.
Yeah, we finished predictions. We're moving on.
All right, cool.
Russo, yeah.
Yeah,
we're doing the game after the following game.
Oh yeah, no, we're talking about the player and the manager of the month, weren't we? Yeah. Dan, obviously, like I said to Darren, the momentum has carried on under Rene. Oh, a serious question. Do you think we could go the rest of the league games winning them?
Oh, yes, I think we could. I think we
It's
could.
Man
I
United's
think,
only one, isn't it? Really?
yeah, I think the two negative results. What we had, so the Man United draw and the Chelsea defeat. I mean, both of them games we could have got something out of. We could have won, so it wasn't terrible performances. Yeah, I think we should. I mean, we should be looking to win all them games, 100%. Even, I mean, we got United at home at the Emirates last game of the season. We should be wanting to tear into them like we did last season. So yeah, I think it should be the minimum to win all our remaining games.
Yeah. Because I think that obviously I think people forget as well as Man United. I'm pretty sure they've got quite a hard end to the season, haven't they?
They have.
Yeah. Have they got Chelsea? Is it
They've got
something like
Chelsea,
City,
us,
Chelsea,
and
and us or something?
Yeah, they've got three of the top four they've got to play.
Yeah. So I'll stick to what I said, Paul. I think Man United probably fall away, don't they, towards the end?
Yeah. I mean, they've got a tough run in coming up. We've got them out of all the top four. We've got the easiest on paper. Crystal Palace, West Ham, Everton, those sort of teams. We all know that Chelsea and City have got to play themselves 4 times in a row. It could even be a 5th time if they both get through in the FA Cup and get drawn against each other.
Yeah.
Then, we should be looking to pick up 3 points right through now till the end of the season, easily.
Yeah, I agree. And every team we're going to play end up sacking their manager at the minute. So Liverpool and Palace. So
It's all right. Matt Beard's going to become the Scotland manager. It's all good.
I did see someone say, "Do they reckon he'll take the Palace job?" And I was like, "I don't think
it's not official, Darren, but a lot of Scottish people are saying that they would take Matt Beard as the manager."
I would as well. I think he's a good guy, personally.
He's got the right attitude about him. I think he hasn't really done anything wrong at Liverpool. I think the issue at Liverpool is not the manager; it's the investment. So,
do you think, like, going into the Liverpool chat, Mel, quickly? Do you think because they're actually not in the worst position in the league, are they? But do you think when you manage a team, say like Liverpool, they're expecting as a club to be closer to, say, the top 3?
I think the only downfall really is how well they finished last season. I think that's the only thing that's making their position this season look a lot worse than it actually is. I think for where Liverpool women are investment-wise and player-wise, where they are on the table, to me, would be about right. They're not a million miles off, sort of like that top half, or even like that top third. So I think until they get the actual investment and the care from the top of the club, I can't see them finishing sort of any higher than mid-table at the minute.
Yeah. Cool. I'm just going to answer this question from Unbiased. Yes, you're more than welcome to come on the show. Drop me a message on Twitter, and we'll get it sorted. So yeah, to answer that, yeah, you can. Yeah, that was my only question. Like with Liverpool, is that does the reputation of the job go before the practicality of what he actually done? Because I don't think, where are they? Are they like 6th or something?
I literally just looked at this at work earlier because the boy that I work with is a Liverpool fan.
Yeah, and they're obviously they're still in the FA Cup. Like, I don't know. Maybe it's me, but I don't think they're in. It's not like they're fighting for relegation. Well, while there is relegation. I'm just trying to think. I want to say they're 6th.
They're 7th.
Oh, 7th. Okay.
But they're only a point off being 5th. So
Yeah, so like if they win on Sunday against, I can't remember who they're playing, but
they're playing Crystal Palace. So if they beat
Yeah,
Crystal Palace, then
so you'd expect them the matter of no managers. So you'd be expecting them probably to win that. So they potentially could be fifth. So he's been let go or sacked, however you want to paint it up, for being fifth and still in the FA Cup. Like that's
I think
what
the
do they
issue is
want?
with the WSL is the top four are so far ahead of everybody else on points that if you're not in the top four, then it comes across that you're doing a shit job. Like there's 10 points between fifth and fourth. And then from fifth down to eighth, there's only 4 points in it. So if it was that tight across the whole table, I don't think he would have been sacked. But because there's such a gap between fourth and fifth, that
So
I think
realistically you're asking the boy to do an impossible job to try and get them anywhere up there.
on that basis, then Arteta should be getting sacked.
All right, not having none of that. Get in the bin, Darren. Get in the bin.
You bet,
You're
Joe.
pushing-
Your words.
No,
Pushing your luck tonight, I think, Darren.
I didn't bite at that. I fucking proper chomped on that, mate. Like you got it proper there.
Darren, you actually might need to go on a witness protection soon if you continue with this because George is going to come and find you.
Don't upset.
Well,
Don't have a go at my Mikel. Tell you, I'll take. I took on all of Arsenal Twitter, mate. Like I don't care.
I tell you what,
I'm
if George is
biased.
coming after me, then he's walking to Everton.
Yeah.
That's a fair
I
track, George.
To be fair, I might not be going Everton now. I'm not sure.
Oh, okay,
I need
buddy.
to double check.
No
But
worries.
I'm biased. I've done it. Mel, what is my Twitter handle?
Laura's already posted it. You're all good.
All right, cool. Thanks. That's why I've got the best of the best. Right. What else was we going to talk about? All right, we're going to quickly touch on this relegation stuff. Mel, I'll start with you. Obviously, there's come out today. There's some talk that apparently the WSL might be looking to kind of take relegation away to try and make. I didn't really understand it when I read it at first. I've had to read it a couple of times. But they basically want to take relegation away, don't they? This is my really inexperienced question: is how the hell is that going to make women's football more competitive and better? Am I missing something?
I think a league with no promotion or relegation, because they're in the top flight, there's nowhere else they can go, is the most boring fucking idea ever because there's nothing to unless you're challenged at the top of the table. So unless you're first, second, third, there is nothing to play for. There's nothing on the line. You can just coast. Nobody's in any danger. It's boring. I think they're planning on doing it. I want to say it's like the 26-27 season. So it's not coming in anytime soon. I say that. We've got about a year. And it's because they're wanting to bring more teams up into the WSL. There's easier ways to do that than stopping relegation altogether. So like I said in our group chat earlier, up in Scotland, I think the majority of the leagues up until you get to... They don't do it in the SPL. I know that much. So every league sort of below the SPL, they go into a playoff. So whoever finishes first in the championship automatically promoted to the WSL. And then I think your two bottom teams in the WSL play second and third in the championship in a playoff sort of structure. It makes it more competitive. Somebody who you think has had the world's worst season and they've been battered by everybody and they should be going down might find a way to keep themselves up. You might then end up with two championship teams coming up, two teams from the WSL going down. I think that's the way that it needs to be done rather than a couple of seasons of just promoting clubs and then nobody goes anywhere. Because like I say, unless you're looking to win the league or in the picture to win the league, then there's not really much to play for. Okay, you're playing for your club and you're playing for the love of the game, but you need something to fight for.
I did
And as
laugh
somebody
at.
who played in a league with no promotion or no relegation, unless you're winning the league, it's fucking boring.
I did laugh at Unbiased his comment. Just relegate Chelsea. Job done.
Exactly. Somebody get financial fair play involved.
I think he'll fit. I think they'll fit on well on the show already. But yeah, I don't understand. I'll go to you, Paul. Like, we're wanting it to become more competitive and the level of competitiveness going higher, and then they want to do that, like having it as a closed shop. I don't. Is there even any experience or understanding how it could make it better? I don't know. Maybe we're looking at it wrong.
Yeah, I mean, we said on a show a couple of weeks ago about London City Lionesses and the investment that that club has had over the last couple of years and how they've developed the squad and they're building it. If they weren't able to get the promotion into the WSL, if it was just a complete closed shop, then where's the encouragement for those sorts of teams? So you've definitely got to have the promotion. You've definitely got to have the relegation. And if they want to increase the number of teams in the WSL, the simple way to do it over a couple of years is it's like a 2 up, 1 down type of scenario, or you have the 1 up, 1 down, and then a playoff like Mel's already said about. And as long as you're promoting more teams than you're relegating for 2 or 3 years, then that's the way to increase the teams, in my opinion. But the only way to make the WSL more competitive is to increase the number of teams, as long as those teams that come up have a decent backing by the owners to actually compete at that level, not just we're going to throw a little bit of money at the women's game to make it look good and tick a box. Oh, look, we've got promoted, whoopee-doo. We've now got relegated on like 1 point straight away. So there needs to be that balance of, yes, we want more teams, yes, we want it more competitive, but it's got to be done the right way and with the whole team, the whole back room, the board behind the women's game as well as the men's game.
Yeah. Darren, I know you've got to go in a minute, so I'll just ask you this quickly. Do you think it could be, obviously, I think we're all in an agreement that relegation and promotion is important, but more importantly, I think it needs to have bigger financial help for the smaller clubs down the bottom of the league. Do you agree with that?
I absolutely do agree with everything you've just said. I also just wanted to add a further point to what Paul was saying.
Yeah.
I'm all for extra competition in the WSL, i.e. more teams. But of course, that comes with the downside of more games, which of course means, potentially more injuries for these girls. It also could mean that they lose their quite favourable Christmas break, which is 2 or 3 weeks. And have they got another break coming up soon for 2 or 3 weeks? I can't remember off the top of my head.
Yeah, there's another
so
one.
There is that downside to it, player fatigue. So we might have to look at the size of squads as well. So there's a lot of room for improvement, most definitely in the WSL. Financial backing, you're absolutely right, George, but it's not just the small teams. I read Laura made a comment just now that Man United are potentially thinking about scrapping their team. Is that right? I've not heard that anywhere else.
I've not
Well,
heard.
if you look at how many financial cuts that Man United are making, it wouldn't surprise me.
It would be a damn shame if they do.
If they can cut the canteen, then they can cut the women's team, can't they?
If all the staff are eating super sandwiches for lunch, the women's team's not going to be there.
Well,
You still get your cheese and onion with Sol Clinton.
I mean, we could even say our own team don't really invest in the women's team enough, potentially. I don't know. People might want to argue against that.
I think compared to the lower teams, we do.
Compared to lower teams, we absolutely do. But I think we're just greedy. We want more. We want to see the likes of Bon Matti and Red and White, but that's going to take huge amounts of salary. So I'm not sure we're going to ever get to that point ever.
And for us to get to that point, they're going to up the cost of my season ticket, so you can fucking pack it in.
Well, I think that's going to come soon anyway. They're going to up the prices soon. Emirates, we've done that. So this is the second season at the Emirates, isn't it? And it's still dirt cheap. Is that going to last forever? I don't think so.
As
I'm
long as
paying
it
like
does.
£90 for a season ticket that I don't even get to use. My friends use it more than I do.
Well, there you are. I mean, the fact is, I mean, it's not sustainable because have we packed out the Emirates this season so far, chaps? I don't know if we have.
No, 56,000 for Spurs was the highest attendance this year.
And then we went all the way down to what 30 odd for Brighton, whatever it was.
29 for either Brighton or Everton.
Yeah, so I mean, is that sustainable? I don't know. So maybe they're going to up the prices if we are going to stay at the Emirates. But sorry, Jules, getting back to your question, I do agree, and I won't labour the point too much. The lower teams most definitely do need some financial backing. And Paul was absolutely right in what he said. The Lionesses have got the right idea. They're investing heavily in their team, and they will become a WL's team very soon, and they will stay there probably and not go down again because they've got the right idea. They've got the right backing. They've got the right people on side. Is it an American woman? I can't remember, but
Yeah, Michelle Khan just got.
yeah,
It
I mean,
owns OL Reign and Leon as well, I think, or co-owns them. So
sadly, the WSL is still, or women's football in general, sadly, is still a poor relation to the men's game, and sadly, that ain't going to change anytime soon, in my opinion, which is a crying shame because it's a great spectacle. We all know that. We all love the game. Sadly, the message is not getting out there to enough people. But give it time. You never know. Rome wasn't built in a day, as they say.
No.
And on that note, George, I do have to run off. I'm afraid I've got to get.
That's good. Thanks for coming on, mate, and I'll see you Sunday.
See you Sunday, fools that are there. Take care.
Talking about tickets going up, £21 for an away ticket to Madrid. I was like, I don't know if I like this getting a bit more better actually. To get a bit higher.
to be fair, £21 to go see Madrid. I'm £15 to go see El. Well, I'm not £15. I pay fuck all. £15 to go see Elgin City.
That's
£6
what I mean.
extra for a Champions League game. I'm there. I'm not. I can't get it off work, but I would be.
The difference is, Mel, you've not got the hot weather, mate.
I'd happily pay £6 more for hot weather.
Yeah, if you could sort out the weather, like maybe.
Let me put a word into the big man up a stair. See if he's listening.
Yeah, go on. I know you've got him on WhatsApp. It's fine.
He doesn't listen to me, unfortunately.
You need to stop voice noting. That's what it is. On that note, we'll probably have we got any other comments before we finish?
James said that WSL needs to do the same to TV rights as the men's Prem does here. Our prices, take it or leave it.
Yeah. There was something that Paddy Power tweeted today. This is just for James, and it was that unfortunately there's been some bad news that Rangers have said that their away fans have got to watch them play against Celtic.
And they're gonna let the boys in the Green Brigade back in at Ibrox. You're gonna get outsung by about 500 folk because you won't give us enough tickets.
Yeah, so
enjoy that.
Let's just have obviously we just need to have a bit of a moment for James and poor Rangers. So yeah.
Who are
that's it already. Done.
Fuck all this season.
Done already.
And Bias would like to know before we go, what do we think of Tottenham?
Shit.
Correct.
So yeah, thank you to my guests. Dan, thank you for coming on. It's been brilliant.
Thanks for having me again. Good to be on the show.
No problem. And I hope to see you soon. Are you able to? You at any of the games?
Not Sunday, but what's the next? We've got Liverpool the week after. Yeah, I think we're aiming for that one. But yes,
I will be there, but I won't be in my seat. So, but you'll probably have my friend Johnny there, so I'm sure you'll look after him. Paul, thank you for coming on. Are you there Sunday?
Yeah, I'm there Sunday. It's my daughter's 16th birthday on Sunday.
That is me.
Yeah, she'll be there, and I will also have my youngest two with me as well.
Excellent.
So, they'll be their first trip to Meadow Park.
Excellent. So
good.
Before, obviously, happy birthday to Esme for Sunday, and thanks for all the hard work you do as well with the channel. So, and Mel, brilliant as always. Hope to see you soon.
Thank you. I think Next game I will be at is going to be Champions League at the Emirates. Flights are booked. Hotel was booked today. So you aren't getting rid of me. I'm going to be there. Fuck knows when I'll be down after that because my games are coming so thick and fast at the minute that we're having to play midweek games. And that's an hour and a half drive on a Wednesday night just to get there. So yeah,
Jesus.
I'd rather be in London, but it is what it is.
Yeah. No, nice one though. Thank you. And thanks to everyone in the comments. Remember, please hit that subscribe button and share with anyone that you think would be interested and would subscribe. It really, really helps. We'll be back on Monday, hopefully after another win. And have a lovely weekend and come on, you Gunners.